Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about an event that changed his life. This event was related to a radio signal that was the strongest candidate for extraterrestrial intelligence and still remains a mystery. This signal was called the WOW signal. The main character of this event was an astronomer named Jerry Emin. Jerry was working at Ohio State University in the USA in 1977. The university had a huge radio telescope called Big Ear. This telescope was used to search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Jerry was also working as a volunteer for this research. Jerry's job was to examine the data collected by the telescope and mark the interesting ones. This data was processed by a computer and printed on paper. Jerry also reviewed these papers and read the codes that showed the frequency and intensity of the radio waves. One day, on August 15, 1977, Jerry was checking the data routinely when something caught his eye. There was a radio wave on the paper that had a much higher intensity than normal. The frequency of this wave was also the same as the frequency emitted by hydrogen. This made it very special, because this frequency was universal and resistant to distortion. Jerry was very excited when he saw this wave and wrote "WOW" on the paper. That's why this event was called the WOW signal. The WOW signal was heard only for 72 seconds and never repeated again. Jerry and other researchers tried several times to find the source of the signal but failed. It could not be determined whether the signal came from a natural or artificial source. The WOW signal remained the strongest radio signal ever thought to have come from outside the world. This signal may have been a sign that we are not alone in space. Or maybe it was just a coincidence. But whatever it was, the WOW signal reminded us how big and mysterious the universe is. Jerry changed his life after this event. He continued to research extraterrestrial intelligence and wrote many articles on this topic. He became the first person to hear the WOW signal and an expert on this topic. So what is the truth behind this signal? To understand this, we need to know how radio telescopes work and why they use hydrogen frequency. Radio telescopes are huge antennas that collect radio waves from the sky and convert them into electrical signals. These signals are then analyzed by computers and displayed visually. With radio telescopes, we can get information about invisible galaxies, stars, planets, and other celestial bodies. The frequencies of radio waves are very diverse and come from different sources. For example, natural sources such as stars, pulsars, black holes, and other celestial bodies can emit radio waves. Artificial sources such as human-made satellites, rockets, radars, and other technological devices can produce radio waves. But how can we distinguish radio waves coming from outside? This is where hydrogen frequency comes in handy. Hydrogen atom is the most abundant element in the universe and can emit radio waves at a frequency of 1420 MHz as a result of interaction between its two particles, proton and electron. This frequency is very special and constant and is not produced by any other natural source. Therefore, if there is another civilization in space and they want to communicate with us, we can think that this frequency is the most logical choice, because it is both universal and resistant to distortion. Indeed, humanity has also sent messages at this frequency. For example, in 1974, a 3-minute message was sent from Arecibo Radio Telescope in Puerto Rico to M13 Globular Star Cluster. The WOW signal was exactly a radio wave heard at this frequency. This made it very interesting, because it was very difficult for this frequency to come from another natural or artificial source. But there was another feature of the WOW. You may ask what modulation is. Modulation is a technique used to add information to radio waves. For example, information such as sound or image is transmitted by changing the amplitude or frequency of radio waves. This way, the information can be decoded by the receiver. The WOW signal did not contain modulation. That is, it did not carry any information. It was just a single type of radio wave. This could mean two things: either the WOW signal was really a simple signal from outside, or it was a completely natural phenomenon. If the WOW signal was a simple signal from outside, what could be the reason? Maybe there is another civilization in space that is close to us and wants to communicate with us. Maybe this civilization has much more advanced technology than us and wants to introduce themselves to us. Maybe this civilization is much more behind than us and tries to send messages like us using hydrogen frequency. Or maybe the WOW signal was a completely natural phenomenon. Maybe it originated from the supermassive black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy or another celestial body. Maybe it was a mistake or interference that occurred in the Earth's atmosphere or in the telescope itself. None of these possibilities could be proven conclusively, so the WOW signal continues to remain an unexplained phenomenon. The researches to find the source of the WOW signal also did not yield results. Many observations were made in the direction of where the signal came from, but the same signal was never received again. This showed that the signal was a one-time event. However, some stars near this region attracted attention as possible sources of the WOW signal, especially a star named 2MASS 192819882-2640123, which was the closest and most similar to the Sun in the direction where the signal came from. It was thought that there might be planets around this star and that there might be life on one of them. To test this hypothesis, a group of amateur astronomers conducted a radio observation in 2017 in the direction of this star. In this observation, they claimed that they captured a signal with the same frequency and intensity as the WOW signal. However, this claim was not scientifically verified and criticized. Another interesting theory about the WOW signal was that it actually came from Earth rather than outside. According to this theory, the signal was the result of a secret military project of the USA. This project was sending satellites into space to test hydrogen bombs. These satellites were emitting radio waves at hydrogen frequency to report the moment of explosion of the bombs. There was some evidence to support this theory. For example, it was known that on the date when the WOW signal was heard, the USA conducted a hydrogen bomb test in the Pacific Ocean. Also, some workers at Big Ear Telescope were opposed to using the telescope for military purposes and may have sabotaged it. But this theory also could not be proven exactly, so the WOW signal continues to remain an unexplained phenomenon. Jerry changed his life after this event. He continued to research extraterrestrial intelligence and wrote many articles on this topic. He became the first person to hear the WOW signal and an expert on this topic. Jerry's life story shows us this: we can never know how big and mysterious the universe is. Maybe there are other civilizations in space that are close to us and want to communicate with us. Maybe there are civilizations that are much more advanced or behind than us and are unaware of us. Maybe we are alone in space and there is no one else. But whatever it is, we humans are curious beings, and we will continue to try to solve the mysteries of the universe. Who knows, maybe one day we will learn the true meaning of the WOW signal or encounter another signal. This is the end of this story, friends. I hope you liked it. What do you think about the WOW signal? Share in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next story. Goodbye.